Hey everyone, it's Qcknd, and it is episode 6 of our house renovation series. Today I'm with you because it's a lot of demolition. It's so much demolition that I thought I would join you to kind of just give some perspective because there's not a lot of talking. There's mostly smashing. So today we are demoing the middle room. In our last episode, we removed that closet, and since then we've removed all the plaster and lath off of the wall. So I feel like I should say we did not go into this project with the intention of demolishing the entire house. I thought, we would do some updates, some cosmetic updates, remove the wallpaper, stuff like that, but now we're at a point where we're taking her down to the studs. This is surprising me, and it's a little quiet on set since I feel like we're kind of taking on the information of how big of a job this really is going to be. Not me though. I don't know. So after removing the closets, which you saw in the previous episode, now we're removing all of the walls. The walls in this case, the little lasagna looking on the wall, this was a plaster and lath wall. So quickly, plaster and lath was used before the popularity of drywall. And what plaster and lath is, these little strips of wood that are nailed into the wall studs and then plaster is put on top of it. So if we are dating the house, plaster and lath sort of fell out of favor around the 1930s when drywall started to become more popular. It was a lot more heavy back then, but still people preferred drywall in their house versus using plaster, which is sort of a specialized, especially now, technique. Although we did keep some lath and plaster in the house, in this room it was important for us to remove everything, that way we could get to the ceiling. You may have caught it at the end of the last episode, but the electrical in this house is poopy. But I do want to note that plaster and lath is completely suitable for modern living, and we do end up keeping it in a few of our walls. And yes, before you ask, we did find horsehair in the plaster, which was normally used to strengthen the plaster, but in our case, we were finding entire clumps of horsehair.
The big guy looking at you is Jovi.
Yesterday, this dude gave me 3 boxes of brand new faucets from the 50s and 60s.
Oh, let me show you this tub that I'm gonna, and it's 30.
What's it look like inside, man?
30 inches wide.
Oh no.
What, you hate this?
It's like yours. Like it has that. That's a weird one though. I don't know how you get that faucet. That's what I'm saying. I'll look it up for you.
With the walls taken down, we are able to demo the ceiling. Basically, John is taking a pry bar to the ceiling and bashing it all down. I'm still working on my lath pile. But a lot of this operation is me keeping it cool, because normally I would be freaking out. But you just gotta keep it cool, I guess. Keep things moving. I feel like if I scream and cry all the time, nothing will ever get done. So Century Home ceilings are also made of plaster and lath. But what you're seeing come out of the ceiling is insulation, and it's called Rockwool. More on that in a minute. So what I am removing from the room is called Rockwool. So this is a type of insulation that is kind of blown into a space, and it's little crumbly, kind of cottony, but it's actually also known as mineral wool because it is made of rocks, organic material. So it's difficult to date this Rockwool because Rockwool is still used today and almost looks exactly the same. But Rockwool came to the United States in the 1870s, and from there we're able to gather that either this was put in there 100 years ago when the ceiling was put up, or it was blown into the ceiling at a later date, possibly the 80s when the house went through its renovation, if you want to call it that. Devastation, if you want to call it that. Yes, we took the Sears fan out of the wall, which it was permanently affixed to. But it was my job to remove all the Rockwool from the middle room. Now, Rockwool is surprisingly heavy, so I'm only able to fill about half of a trash bag full before it's too heavy for me to lift. More waste, more trash bags, more dump runs. But the Rockwool is taken care of and the middle room is demoed. Should I start shop vacuuming?
Yeah. You need to shop that.
So moving on to the third small room. The back room is now open to the middle room because we removed the closets. So if you're seeing me warp between these two rooms, it's because it's one room, one big room, full of bad decisions. Trying to get footage of this room without stepping in this hole. So I think today this square is coming down. We just made a cut on the other side. This tiles, I wanted to get a shot of this. So we feel like no one's ever lived here, and one of the reasons I felt that way is because the grout is completely white and clean. Even like on the floor. See how that's just never been used before? Justine said that maybe he was a really clean guy, but this to me is like fake. Like he never installed a drain, and his soap tray was completely clean. So how come this has to be smashed up?
It's concrete.
Okay, so this is concrete. So it has to get smashed up today. Okay. Wait, what's going on here? Well, let me tell you in the nicest way possible. When the potentially 80s renovations happened to this house, and this is all speculation, I do not know. But when the little bathroom was added, you may remember from our first episode with the house tour, there was that big jut out in the back room. And I was like, that's the shower. Well, when we demoed the shower, it was just a concrete pad poured onto the floor. Like, the floor. So we have to break up the concrete that is literally just on the floor. I'm just thinking about somebody dumping cement onto this floor and going like, all right, bathroom's ready. Wink, wink. Because I don't think anyone lived here. So it's Sunday and Steve has come over again to help us in the demo. And again, we have to remove the ceiling in this back room. But more importantly, concrete pad. So after that, our friend Sloan comes over, our welder friend. Well, he's so much more than that, but to categorize him. Sloan comes over and it is a free-for-all demoing this back room. At this time, we were pretty stressed because we have a timeline for everything going on and everything just started piling up. It felt like the timeline was never going to get met. We had so much more demo to take care of than we really needed. And our friends came over and thrashed this room positive. On the chopping block right now, while our friends are over, is demoing that back room, getting the ceiling out, and demoing the bathroom. Because the bathroom has secrets. I know it. What's under there? It feels like in a flash, the bathroom is completely demoed, but on a positive note, because the bathroom was renovated, like I said, maybe in the 80s, they used drywall. So we were able to just take the drywall off the wall and put it in the trash. Here Steve is using a sawzall to get rid of the door frame that was created for the shower box. Happily, the concrete is pretty much gone. You gotta find the wins where you can. Over in the corner, you can see me still pulling nails out of the floor. I've gotten pretty good at it though. I've gotten pretty good at it. It has to get done. Someone's gotta do it. So you can see the wires in the ceiling. The bathroom has modern wiring versus knob and tube, but the bathroom modern wiring is tied into the knob and tube. The boys take a break outside and John continues the demolition by removing the back room ceiling. My technique for cleaning up the mess is to remove all the lath from the pile first, and the lath I can put dry in a trash can without a trash bag, but I'm removing all the lath out of the Rockwool pile. That way I can just heave it into a bag, no problem. When you are dealing with large quantities of like waste like this from a house or construction waste, having it quasi-organized is always a little bit helpful. You want to pull anything metal out of your debris because you'll take that somewhere else. And honestly, I'm just a little bit nosy. I'm always looking for treasure. If I found a $10 bill, that would be great. Now, pay attention to this. Okay, it's weird that that hit him, okay? But pay attention to this.
That hurt.
Yeah, it's got nails in it.
And a weird chain.
Oh.
yeah, the lumber they used to frame the ceiling was not quite long enough.
Oh man.
So they used a chain to hold it in place. What is the chain?
I don't know what the
A chain. A chain! Sure, honey. Instead of getting one more piece of lumber in order to do things safely and legally, I've got some chain. I've got some freaking chain. Chain it up.
I never saw some gangster about like one of them rooms that's like all worn in at like a certain angle. You're like, I think it's done a lot of work.
Literally 4 people working on this back room. It has changed in just an hour. It looks completely different. And the boys are working on the subfloor in the bathroom. And watch this. Synchronized. It's beautiful. The boys also have a much better technique for getting big pieces of plywood off the floor. Much better than mine.
Get that lead out of there, boy. Get the lead out. Get the lead out. Yo. This floor is 3/4 of an inch out of level. That's right. Yeah.
Why is there a hole there?
It was to get access to the piece of money that was in the wall. It's a lead pipe. Drain line.
Whoa!
I'm strong as fuck.
Okay.
So pause. Yes, there's a giant hole in the floor. John explains that this was probably cut to be an access panel in order to reach something down below, likely electrical. But inside of the hole, they stuffed a lead pipe. A lead pipe that led to nothing on either side. They were just like, I got this lead pipe. I don't think you can just throw this away. Put it in the floor, I guess. So literally there is just a lead pipe in the hole. Right now they are continuing to lift up the plywood that was put down as a subfloor, and you just have to ask, where was the plywood for the cement for the shower? Where was that plywood? Did it not drip through the floor cracks? Hello? Is the kitchen okay? Quickly, you can see the tile that was left behind, and it is this groovy, mustard yellow, previously bathroom tile. Though I try to wrap my mind around the original footprint of this bathroom. Did we have an outhouse, y'all? Where did everything fit? Yes, this is also how I found out that lead is very soft. Oh, to be a man with a couple of my boys getting plywood up from the bathroom floor. It looks like they're having so much fun! Stop. Pause. See this stack pipe right in front of Steve? Well, if the stack pipe is there, then what's that chase behind it? Probably something that needs addressing. So make sure you are subscribed in order to stay in the loop with episode 7. And because this is my second channel, so you may not be subscribed to it, don't leave the guesswork up to the algorithm. Hit subscribe, you'll see the videos. Perfect harmony. Thank you guys so much for checking out today's video. If you have any questions, let me know. I filled out diligent notes, so hopefully I addressed everything that was going on today. And if you like videos like this, where I can explain things as we're watching them, let me know. I would love to make more in the future. Thank you so much to our patrons for sponsoring today's episode, and I love you very, very much. Until next time, bye!